Welcome to part one of rapid firing through some of my favorite dark romantasy books because who doesn't love a book with a little side of emotional trauma? I simply have too many recommendations to fit into one video, so I'm going to be splitting this up. I'll be doing the first half in part one, the second half in part two. And as with the title of this subgenre, these books are dark. They contain dark themes. They have morally gray, complex characters, and usually quite a few triggers. So continue at your own risk. Getting right into it with one of my favorite romantasy series of all time, the Legacy series by Melissa K. Routledge. This is an oppressive world where the children of the gods, called the Legacy, essentially rule and treat the Fae as slaves. And our FMC is a Fae who is forced against her will to magically bond to the morally bankrupt heir of endings who is a Legacy. Now, within this overarching chaos verse that Melissa K. Routledge is in the process of creating, we have the Lady of Darkness series. Now, this is definitely nowhere near as dark as the Legacy series, but there are some dark themes, so I still categorize this as like a semi-dark romantasy. Now, in this series, our FMC is an orphaned assassin who is a bit out of commission when we start this book because of a trauma that occurred, but she's brought back into the job by the assassin lord that essentially owns her when he offers her revenge against the Fae Fire Prince, who she believes unalived her mother in exchange for a specific task. Speaking of interconnected series, let's talk about the Esprithian trilogy, aka Riftborn and Duskbound, and The Ascended, which is book one in the Asmarian duet by Grenwich and Lennox. I'm sorry if I mispronounced those names. Starting off the Esprithian trilogy, this story takes place in a kingdom that was torn apart by a rebellion, and now the children of this rebellion experience extreme prejudice, and our FMC is a child of the rebellion. Now, she has a strange dark power that she doesn't really know what to do with, but it also may be the solution to the evil wraiths that are attacking her kingdom. Now, getting into The Ascended, so this story takes place in a different realm, but within the same universe. And here we follow a set of twins as they are forced to compete in a set of deadly trials where the winners have the opportunity to ascend into godhood. But our twins have more planned than just ascending, aka they want to enact revenge against their father, who is one of the gods. Air Evolution by Madeline Taylor is exactly what I want when I say I want a dark romantasy. Here, our FMC is a wraith, and she has been forced to bond against her will to the evil king of her city, and he forces her to be his trusty assassin. So our MMC is actually a reaper, and our MMC and FMC form an unlikely alliance, and that alliance is full of more secrets than you could ever possibly imagine. And finally, we have A Forbidden Alchemy by Stacey McEwen, and this takes place in a Peaky Blinders-inspired world in the midst of a violent class war, and it follows a fated pair. In this world, artisans, aka magic wielders, rule, and the majority of the population consists of craftsmen, aka very hardworking people that are oftentimes left in poverty. So our fated pair realize the immense corruption that is going on with those in power and how the magic system works in this world, and one of them may or may not start a giant rebellion. Be sure to follow along so that you don't miss part two of me going through some of my favorite dark romantasy recs.